Good morning. This is Dr. Anil Kumar S. Katti. So today we'll deal with intellectual property right. So what is intellectual property? Types of intellectual properties and how to see what are the protections covered in each intellectual properties. So IPR, so we call it as intellectual property right. So what is intellectual? So what are the properties, types of properties and the right? Intellectual is nothing but appealing to or engaging the intellect. So it is related to the creation of mind. So this is the biggest property so we have with us. So it is related to the ideas or the innovations or the work of intellect. So it is the creation of a mind. So then property that which a person owns, the possession or possessions of a particular owner. So right, adherence or obedience to the moral or legal principles and authorities. So when you have an idea in your mind, so that idea need to be worked out. So the technology need to be transferred into the R&Ds. So you need to work out in the R&D, research and development. Then that will come to the manufacturing of the product. So when you manufacture a product using your ideas in the research and development, so then your product will be sold in a market. Then this is the cycle of IPR. So whatever the idea you have in your mind, so put it in the R&D, execute in the R&D, produce some product, develop some process, then go for the marketing, and you will have a benefit out of your ideas. So there are two kinds of properties: the tangible property and intangible properties. Tangible properties, the any properties which you can touch, so such as building, machineries, etc. So intangible properties are goodwill or intellectual property which you cannot touch. So intellectual property is a product of the mind and human intellect. Intellectual property refers to creation of the mind, invention such as inventions, literary and artistic work, musical work, and symbols, names, images, and designs used in a commerce. So in the commercial way, if you have any ideas or it is all totally IP, intellectual property is related to the creation of mind. So you can use your mind to invent some things. You can put in the literary works like poem, novels, artistic work. You can go for the musicals and the sing song, music directions. So develop symbols, names and images, drawings, paintings, designs. So if you commercialize it, so that comes under intellectual property. So intellectual property right is intangible asset, knowledge based, legal right which excludes others from using, and it is a limited duration. So it is a territorial right, and it can also be assignable, licensable, and transferable. Can be bought, sold, licensed, or given away free. So it is a multi-usable. Use does not exhaust. So what is Intellectual Property Act? Under the Intellectual Property Law, owners are granted a certain exclusive right to a variety of intangible assets such as musical, literary, artistic work, discoveries, and inventions, and words, phrases, symbols, and designs. So the Patent Act 1970, along with the Patent Rules 1972, came into force on 20th April 1972, replacing the Indian Patents and Designs Act 1911. So objectives of intellectual property right. So and objectives of the intellectual property law, main purpose of intellectual property law is to encourage the creation of a wide variety of intellectual goods for consumers. So especially it helps in financial incentives. So it allows the owners of intellectual property to benefit from the property they have created, providing a financial incentive for the creation of an investment in intellectual property, and in case of patents, pay associated research and development cost. It also helps in the economic growth of an patentee as well as the country. The WIPO, that is a World Intellectual Property Organization Treaty, and several related international agreements underline that the protection of intellectual property right is essential to maintain the economical growth. So it also helps, the main objective is to give a morality. According to the Act 27 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, everyone has the right to the protection of moral and material interest resulting from any scientific, literary, or artistic production of which he is the author. So, World Intellectual Property has a strategic goals. Its main goals are balanced evolution of international normative framework for IP, provision of premier goal for IP services, facilitating the use of IP for development, coordination and development of global IP infrastructure, world reference source for IP information and analysis, international cooperation on building a respect for IP, according to IP in relation to global policy issues. So these are the important goals of WIPO. The main goals are to develop infrastructure for IP and provide IP services, develop a rules and regulation for IP, intellectual property, and develop a global policy issues. So this is the main goal of World Intellectual Property Organization. So what is patent? A patent is a legal right given to a patentee or an inventor for his new idea, method, a new product, etc. for a limited period of time by the government. Okay, so it is exclusive legal right given to the patentee or the inventor for especially his new idea, method, new methods, and new products for a limited period of time. So patent law in any country provide a safety to the inventor for his discovery. So what is safety? Patent safety means the other persons so cannot manufacture, cannot distribute the product without taking prior permission of the patentee. So this is the safety the IP provides. So other people cannot manufacture it, cannot distribute, cannot sell it, cannot buy it without the permission of the patentee. So what is an invention? So according to the Act 1J of the Patent Act 1970, defines the invention means a new process and product which is non-obvious and useful for industry. So any invention, anything which you want to say it is an invention. So invention means so it should be a new process or the new product. And also all new inventions, all new processes and new products are not inventions unless they are non-obvious and useful for industry. Okay. So what is novelty? Section 211 of the Act defines a new invention means any technology and invention which is not available in any country or any published document before the filing of the patent application is known as novelty. So what is novelty? So it should be a new invention which which is not available in any country, or it should not be published before you file a patent. There should not be any documentations. There should not be any technology before you file. The technology should not be available in any country. Then we can say it is a novel. So what is patent? Patent is an exclusive right granted for an invention which is a product or a process patent. To get a patent, a technical information about the invention must be disclosed to the public in a patent applications. During patent application, you need to disclose the technical information. So what kind of protection does a patent offer? So in principle, the patent owner has exclusive right to prevent or stop others from commercial exploiting the patented invention. In other words, the patent protection means that invention cannot be commercially made, used, distributed, imported, or sold by others without the patent owner consent. So, is a patent valid in every country? Patent are territorial rights, as I said. So, it is a territorial right. It is not valid in every country. In other words, the exclusive right are only applicable in the country or a region. If you have filed the patent in India, so it is restricted to India. So it is a territorial right. So in which the patent has been filed or granted in accordance with the law of that country or region. So if you want to go for global patent, so then you have a different PCT filing. So how long does a patent last? The protection is granted for a limited period of time, generally at 20 years from the filing date of the application. So what is industrial design? So many patents, they comes under the industrial designs. So industrial designs are applied to a wide variety of products of industry and handcraft items, from packaging and containers to furnishing and household goods, from lighting equipment to jewelries, and from electronic devices to textiles. Industrial designs may also be relevant to graphic symbols, graphical user interface, and logos. Then comes the copyright. So what is copyright? So it is another form of a IP, intellectual property. So copyright or the author's right is a legal term used to describe the rights to the creator have over their literary and artistic work. The copyright especially covers the literary and artistic work. Work covered by the copyright ranges from book, music, painting, sculpture, and films to computer programs, databases, advertisements, maps, and technical drawings. So what can be protected by using copyrights? All this, whatever I have listed out here. Okay, so even advertisement, maps, and technical drawings. So copyright protection extends only to expression, not to any ideas. Not just if you have any idea, you don't get a copyright. That idea need to be expressed in the form of poem, literary, painting, drawings, film, music, okay, database, something. So then you will have a copyright for that. So copyright will last up to the lifelong lifetime of the author, and after his death, so 50 to 70 years, the copyright will come. So thank you. I hope you understood about the IPR. So there are so many copyright forms of patents are there, the forms of intellectual property, such as trademark, trade secrets, GI, geographical indications. So we'll cover in the next class. Thank you.